Hi everybody, my name is Joe Pillitteri. This is my wife Ginger. Just wanted to give you a quick praise report to show you that God is active and God is moving. We've been at the church now for about 30 years, since the early 80s when it first opened. We were there the third service, and I sat under many years of teaching on prosperity and healing and provision and God's faithfulness. But it never actually sinks into you until you actually take the step to obey God's word. It goes back about 9 years. I was working in a job, working many hours, 70 hours a week, 75, 80 hours a week for very little money. We were pregnant with our first child, who is now 9 years old, so that goes back a ways. And I can remember us being at the agreement service one of the first Sundays in January. And the way I had the finances worked out is that we made just enough money to pay all our bills, but we couldn't pay tithe. Or choose to honor God with our first fruits, pay tithe, and then trust Him to bring it back to us. I don't know how we can do it. It's impossible in the natural to do it, but we can trust Him. And I turned to Ginger and I said, well, what do you want to do? Here's our two options. Is God faithful or is He not? And she turned to me and looked and said, God is faithful. Let's trust God. Let's just trust God and let God work and give Him an opportunity. So we decided in our agreement service that we were going to trust and honor God with our first fruits, and we were going to honor Him with our tithe like He told us to in His Word. This was early January. We gave birth to Bella January 13th, and we're in the hospital, and I came home just to grab a few things and shower, and on the answering machine was a message from a guy that I had interviewed with over a year prior to that. And his message was, I don't know if you're still looking, we're hiring, I just can't stop thinking about you. There's just something about you that I just want to talk to you again. Within 2 months, by March, he had hired me at almost double the pay I was making at where I was, plus benefits, take-home car, etc. But it all came back to that decision of, do I trust God enough to act on my faith in God? Faith, there's 3 parts to me that it really sunk in. Number 1, you hear it. I heard the word that God is faithful. Part number 2, I believed the fact that God was faithful. But God couldn't act until I put number 3 to the test, and that's my action. That He's faithful enough that I'm choosing to trust Him. Here's my tithe, Father. I'm planting that seed, and I'm trusting You and expecting You to bring it back to us. And that's what He did for us. And if He did it for us, He'll do it for you. Thanks.